What up? It's Stress Boogie telling all y'all subscribe to heritagehiphop.com.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Karev, Heritage Hip Hop, and y'all, this is special right here because I got someone whose sound I really appreciate. And if you don't know, this sound has been representing Jersey for a while. Please introduce yourself to the people.
What up? What up? Stress Boogie in the building.
Right?
The Enigma is here.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, salute.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure to finally get to sit down with you and speak with you. This interview was made on like the excitement of meeting you at the vegan Thanksgiving thing, which I was seeing Heritage Hip Hop is not out by now. And let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning for me was on the one. When somebody sent me that video,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, this is hot.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
Yeah.
So I started doing some research, like, who's Stress Boogie? Who's Stress Boogie? Stress Boogie got a song with Docs, Diggler, and he got a song with Drift. So I'm like, oh, I gotta do some homework, because if you're rolling with people whose names are real known, then either you're a person on their level, a person they respect, or somebody who's grooming them.
Right.
So it's like, who's Stress Boogie? Tell everybody, who is Stress Boogie if they wanted to know?
Well, first of all, like, Stress Boogie, like me, I've been around for a very long time. Like, if we really want to go like to the beginning, like your introduction is on the one. That's so long. That's way after the beginning of my career.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah. Like, the first project that I released was in probably like 99, you know? So, if we want to go all the way back, like, I'm from East Orange. Spent most of my life East Orange, North, whatever. Like, but I grew up East Orange. I didn't move to North till an adult, so. But I'm from East Orange, and like, I've been rapping forever since I was a kid. Playing instruments since I was a kid, and making beats since I was like a teenager, so to give you the long short of it, around like 96, I recorded my first demo.
Okay.
And been recording ever since, around like 98, me and two other friends of mine decided to form a company called Reflective Entertainment, and we put out a white label single. We put out a white label single called Impact, which had a little B-side on there. It was crazy. That did well. Most of them we handed out to DJs or whatever. And then I recorded an album, which I was gonna go around submitting to labels. But in the process of recording all of it, and I was like back and forth submitting songs and meeting A&Rs and things like that, like, I just decided, like, fuck these labels, like, we should just do it ourselves. We already got a company, so we'll do it ourselves. So 2001, I put out a solo independent joint called Therapy. Sold 1,000 units out the trunk.
Dope.
Right, which, even in the span of that back then, most people I knew were either getting signed or trying to get signed. So in the area, there was nobody doing that. So even back then, and you mentioned Drift, I grew up with Drift. Drift is my man. We used to be in a crew back in the day called BUK. That's my man. We came up together rapping. You know what I mean? But yeah, ever since I put out the project Therapy, I've been putting out solo projects, independent projects, ever since. So, and even Docs, Docs is my man. Docs is my little brother. So, you know, like, yeah, I'm the one who told Docs you are going to rap. You know what I mean? And he will confirm that. But yeah, ever since then, and even with all the solo projects and independent projects that I've done, I'm the one who's produced them all, too. So you have me as the writer, the artist, and as the producer. And that's where it starts. And a bunch of projects later, including a bunch of mixtapes and a bunch of everything else later, here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you broke that down, because part of what I wanted to ask you, it kind of goes back to the history of Jersey hip hop.
Yeah.
And I want to know if you're from the era of East Orange versus North.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about the wild goodies.
I don't believe in it though.
Yeah, it's whack.
And it was like, it was never really a thing to me, because it's like, I'm from East Orange, but my cousin lives there.
Yeah, and one street over and it's North.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, but the reason why I wanted to bring that up was not like the stupidity of it. It was the bar fest that came out of it.
Sure.
Where people used to be like, I'm from here, I'm from there.
Sure.
What you got? I'm bringing my block to your block, and we just gonna bar out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell me about your wild adventures in those type of in that era, because it's gonna lead us to some of the most pivotal moments in Jersey hip hop history.
See, to me, well, I mean, like, I wouldn't just say it's like the East Orange and North, East Orange versus North era. It was more of just the wherever you go, you had the battle era, and I'm from that. So it wasn't just North. Like, anywhere I went and somebody knew that I rapped, it was like, you know, you were gonna spend an extra hour there in front of somebody. You know, like, you had to, you know, you had to rap, and that was everywhere. That was everywhere, and I went so many places like that. Most of them I went alone, which the funniest thing about it is nobody knows how to take it when you show up somewhere by yourself. And you battle, you know what I mean? You show up somewhere and there's 50 people there, you by yourself, and you hold your own. You know, a lot of times that can go bad for you, but nobody knows what to do when you show up by yourself. And, and they're like, all right, maybe he's kind of off. I don't know, but yeah, I'm undefeated. Yeah.
One of the more famous Park Avenue, was it Park Avenue, Springdale, and I think 7th Street had a nice cipher.
Yeah.
And that happened on Bloomfield Avenue, where the stadium is today.
Okay.
Are you part of those wars?
Which stadium?
Where the football stadium is now.
School stadium?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah.
No, I ain't never had that. No.
Okay.
Mine is, yeah, you know what? I'm not part of that. I'm more of the, I mean, I just probably wasn't there. Okay. But any of those legendary ciphers that were happening outside of places like, you know, what's the little, oh man, there used to be this little spot on Central Ave called the Cave, which was crazy. Like, there was a lot of underground spots that I used to run in, and there would be, you know, whoever was on stage is one thing, but the bathroom was something else.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it used to be nuts. Like, yeah, man, oh my God. I'm just thinking about something. And some more famous people used to be in them too.
Yeah.
And they either got their feelings hurt or they got respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But
some of the most famous battles that happened in Jersey, from my experience and the stories I heard: Skate 22, the Armory, the Pipeline, Newark Arcade, Bloomfield Avenue, even the famous Plainfield versus Brick City, and what was it, Union Market parking lot, the Valley Fair battles. People used to go out there and look for MCs because that was what was real, besides the stuff that you heard. You have a ghost legend where either you know or you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's been the history of Jersey hip hop with some of the best MCs that we've had. Tell me why it is an advantage to you to be a ghost rather than to be a monument that everybody looks towards all the time.
I think that's perspective. It's just, for some it's better, for some it's not. I mean, for me, it's like, you know, I'm just naturally low key. I just let the music speak for itself. I'm not somebody who's gonna be out here talking all day or just showing up places just because everybody is showing up there. Because a lot of times there's really nothing for me to do there. You know, it's like, all right, I've seen and heard everybody here. Half the people here are not on my level. I mean, that's not to say anything, but like if we were at a point where everybody was battling, and let's say I beat all these guys, what am I going there for? You know, that's how I used to feel. I don't know right now, but most of the time it's just like I just like making music. Yeah, I'm just like a real low key kind of person. So I don't know. I don't know if that's better or not to be like ghost-like, or, you know, I don't know. That's for, I think, fans to kind of discuss and decide. I don't know.